morning, welcome back. I have to get ready for an event today, so I thought I would do like a chatty get ready with me. But first and foremost, I'm dying. I was gonna take this off to do my makeup, but I wanted to show you this linen set. It's a matching set I got from H&M. I tried it on when I was in Miami and they didn't have it in the size that I wanted, and so I ordered it and it got delivered, and I've worn it like every single day since I got it. It's like very yummy and nice quality, and I'm pretty sure this was like $19. So for each, like 19 for the top, 19 for the pants. You need it. They're like the best summer staples. I'm gonna wear the pants with like a tank top and sandals. I'll wear this with jeans or like as a swimsuit cover up. It's so cute. Anyway, I have a bunch of questions from a leftover AMA. I mean, a bunch of leftover AMAs. I feel like I never get through all the questions that I want to, and I also feel like a lot of them require longer answers than I'm able to give. Oh, I got a text from an unknown number and I was like, who is that? Spam. Okay, so I screenshotted a bunch of leftover Q&As from the last one I did on Instagram. So I'm gonna go through and answer those while I do my makeup. I just got the Makeup by Mario foundation the other day. This is the color 7C. I'm obsessed. I borrowed Ella's when we went out last weekend and it was so good. I felt like my face looked photoshopped. I ran to Sephora and got this and I am in love with it. Okay, first question is, what do you do for a living? I get this a lot because I think people are confused, but I am an influencer slash content creator full-time. I hate the word influencer, as I think most influencers do. So I say content creator because I do create content for brands. Oh my god, I have crumbs left on my face because I took a bite of a cookie. I'm dying. I don't usually eat sugar that early in the morning, which was another question you guys were asking me about, like diet, and I wanted to talk a little bit about like what I eat and why. But yeah, I'm a content creator, I'm an influencer, whatever you want to call it. I create content for brands. I create content for my own channels, primarily Instagram and TikTok, and I feel like the luckiest human alive because I've always been creative and I've always liked taking pictures, and now I get to literally do that for a living. That's cool. And then I'm venturing out and starting a new business that's launching this summer, but I don't want to say too much, so I'll just say that. But I'm really excited to share it with you. And if you like dinner parties, you'll probably be a happy camper. So the next question, let me see what was asked exactly. Can you talk more about intermittent fasting, how to go about it, and the benefits of it? I need to preface this by saying, like, if you struggle with disordered eating of any kind, like don't do what I do. Also, everyone's so different. Like, my best friend has low blood sugar and she just cannot intermittent fast. She like faints. It's not for everyone, like to each their own. But for me specifically, I'm gonna use the Kosas concealer. I intermittent fast on weekdays, so Monday through Friday, which means I don't eat breakfast until noon. Basically, you can't consume more than 50 calories without like breaking the fast. The only reason, the primary reason I do this is for energy. I have so much more energy throughout the day when I don't consume a huge breakfast first thing in the morning. On the weekend, sometimes if I'm like hungover or like there's a diner by my house that I'm obsessed with, Patty's, that I go to all the time, I'll have like a huge breakfast, and after that I just need to take a nap, or around like 2 or 3 o'clock I'll just feel like so tired and in a afternoon slump. That's like why I do it. There are a lot of health benefits to intermittent fasting, but like again, to each their own. It's not for some people, and that's totally okay. Okay, I have to hop on a video call, which is great. Love that for me. BRB. I'm actually really excited. It's like for a client that wants me to do a dinner party for them. Okay, I'm a little bummed because basically it was going to be like this really epic seated dinner, or at least that's what I pictured in my head. And now they're just having me design like, not a buffet, but want me to design like a table that has food in the showroom instead of like a big seated dinner, which is fine because I honestly feel like I had some epic ideas for the seated dinner, and I'm having my birthday party like the day after this, so I'm just gonna use it for my birthday party instead. Wait, I have to show you. This is so off topic. This is a chaotic vlog. So I ordered these like really cute scalloped napkins from Amazon, and I wanted to like embroider people's names on them for the place settings for like the name tags, but it's like on the napkin so people could like take them home with them. Maybe that's silly, but maybe I would just do like a monogram or like just their first initial, but I thought that'd be so cute. I don't know, we'll see. My birthday's on May 1st and that's a Monday this year, which sucks, but I'm gonna do my birthday on the 29th and it's gonna be May Day themed, and I really want to build a maypole. Do you guys know what a maypole is? It's like a pole with a bunch of ribbons on it, and you do like a May Day celebration. They had it at my high school randomly. Growing up, we'd have like a May Day celebration and you would like dance around the maypole. As I'm saying this, I'm like, it's sounding so midsummer, but it's really cute when you're not like sacrificing people. Okay, I got a lot of questions about being single. This one is, how do you deal with feeling lonely and being single? This other girl asked, are you in love or looking for it? Asking as a lonely girl fighting the good fight on dating apps. I have so many thoughts about this, and I feel like I'm lucky enough. By the way, next we're gonna use our Milk makeup bronzing whatever. Actually, you know what? No, we're not. I usually bake my concealer with the Laura Mercier powder. Make sure it doesn't move. So being lonely, being single, looking for love. I'm 27 and I am lucky enough to feel no pressure when it comes to like being in love or looking for love. Maybe that's because like I've had a lot of like healthy, awesome long-term relationships, and for the most part they've kind of like ended on my terms. So I feel like I come from not a place of privilege, but just like my experience has like led me to believe, but like great people are out there and like everything will come with time. And like, I don't know, I think I just kind of function under the law of assumption that like love will happen when it's supposed to happen. And I don't know, maybe I'm just like too spiritual, or like I do believe in like fate, and like I do think things happen for a reason. To me, like love is no exception, and like we are put on this planet for like one purpose, like to love and be loved, and that's not necessarily just with like one person. Like I think that's true in like your friendships and your relationships and your family and all of those things. But I'm gonna stop being cheesy and I'm gonna use a metaphor that I use to explain to my friends who are like, I'm so single and I hate my life. Looking for love, you're gonna roll your eyes, but just bear with me. Looking with love, say beauty blush, is like looking for a rainbow. You know that again, before you die, you are going to see a rainbow. You can function under the law of assumption that you will see a rainbow one day. And you can travel to certain places, you can use dating apps, you can go out more, like Hawaii, and almost guarantee that you will see a rainbow based on the climate. And other places, like LA, for instance, might be harder to find a rainbow because it's sunny here all the time. It doesn't rain as often, whatever the factors may be. But you never like sit around worrying like, am I ever gonna see a rainbow again? Because you know in your lifetime like you will. And I just feel like I treat love the same way. And it's so funny because I was telling my mom this a couple weeks ago and she was like, who came up with that? That's so brilliant. And I was like, me. I was like, I thought of that. And I was driving and I saw a rainbow as I was telling her this. And I was like, oh my God. And I sent her a picture. I was like on the freeway and she was like, that's crazy. And I was telling her about how hard dating is in LA and how like, I won't say where, but I do think I'm moving this fall. Well, not I do think I'm moving this fall. I'll talk more about that in another video. And I was like, I just have a weird feeling that like I'm going to find my person in this place, and I kind of have always thought that. I always pictured meeting my dude, my husband, the love of my life, in this place, and it's like, I don't know, I just kind of function under that law of assumption that that's going to happen when it's supposed to happen. And like, I still go on dates. I used to be on dating apps. I dated a ton last year. It was so much fun. I just feel like I've gotten to a place in my life where it's like, I'm so happy by myself, and I'm a very independent person by nature. I'm also an only child, so I spent a lot of time by myself as a kid, and like, I don't feel the need to be like constantly stimulated. Like I could sit at home for 4 days by myself and be fine. But moral of the story is that like, when your cup is so full, what did Harry Styles say the other night? When your cup is so full that someone can fall in love with like the overflow, that's like when you're in a good spot. And that's just kind of how I feel lately. And I also think like knowing that I'm gonna move in a few months, dating is not on my radar. Of course, the way the universe works is like I'm probably gonna meet someone right before I move, but it is what it is. I'm using the Ilia highlighter. I know I just put it on, but I decided I want more. Anyway, that is my advice. Try and look at it in like a reverse scarcity mindset, or I guess it is like a scarcity mindset. Like this time that you have to focus on your friendships, focus on your job, like mend your relationships with family, whatever it may be, is limited. Because one day you're gonna meet someone, you're gonna fall in love, and you're gonna start building a life together, and you will not have the time or energy to put any of the focus on any of those other things as much as you are now. So just like function with the scarcity mindset. That's the only time I would ever say that. I'm an abundance hoe. But like, try and like take a scarcity mindset and just realize that like this time you have is limited. One day you're gonna find someone. I know you will. You'll never have this time back. That's my best advice. Okay, this one is similar vibes, and I answered it in another AMA, but I just like really like this, and because we're getting into spring and summer and we're like de-thawing and ready to be like gals about town, I wanted to like resurface it. Advice for when it feels like you've been single forever and going on a lot of bad dates. I explained that this is like such a thing. I have so many friends that are in this position. My advice to them is like delete the dating apps and kind of just like wait for a little bit and like reactivate them in 2 or 3 weeks when you feel like you can just navigate with a fresh take and it doesn't feel like all recycled people that you're just like over. But even more than that, flirt with the world. Flirt with the world. Spring and summer, you are flirting with everyone. You are flirting with the guy at the gas station, with the cashier at the grocery store, man, woman, gay, they, them, I don't care, you are flirting, because that's the kind of energy that you want to bring into spring and summer, and that's like how you attract people. Not just like romantic interests, but just like people in general. Like, be the kind of person that other people want to be around by flirting with the world. It's just the best energy ever. My lips are so chapped, I need a little Vaseline. I posted that last summer and I got so many messages from girls that said they did that and it literally changed their lives. So cannot recommend it enough. Flirt with the world. That is the kind of energy we are trying to bring into the spring and summer. Why did that just give me like zombie lips? Anyway, Anastasia, brow freeze, tried and true. Sorry, I'm gonna step off my soapbox now. I know that was obnoxious, but I just think it's important. This one girl messaged me a ton of different questions. I don't even know if you can see that. Probably not. About influencing. How do you find your niche? Don't post what you want. Maybe that's bad advice. That's just how I feel. Like, I could make a whole niche around home decor. I could make a whole niche around dinner parties. I could do a whole account on fashion, on beauty. And it's like, I don't want to have to limit myself to any of those things. I want to be able to share what I like and what I love and what I think will help other people regardless of what category it's in. So that's how I feel about that. How do you start working with brands, getting your name out there? I've talked about this a little bit before. I had a video that was like career questions and I put it on private because I just like look at that video. This is gonna sound so awful, but I was like so unhealthy and like treating my body like a literal garbage disposal, and I'm like so puffy and unhappy, and maybe the content of the video was like good stuff. I can refilm another one now that it's been a couple years and I have more context, but like I couldn't even look at myself in that video, so I hid it. I started working with brands back in the day. I would literally just like cold reach out to brands. I would look up like Sephora corporate email format and I would type in, like, if her name was Kelly Smith, I'd be like ksmith@sephora.com, then I'd be like kelly.smith, and then I'd be like kelly.et. like I would try every format until I could finally get in touch with someone, which like now I could never be bothered to put that much effort into it, and like obviously I'm lucky enough to not have to do that, but back in the day that was my tactic. I just like reached out to as many brands as I could that I was obsessed with, and it wasn't usually as corporate as like Sephora, but I would slide into DMs. I would just like let them know that I was obsessed with them so that when the day came that they had a campaign running, hopefully they would choose me. I guess that's what I would recommend. If you love them that much, reach out. Bother them until they can't forget you. Do you need a certain amount of followers to start a like to know it or Amazon storefront? I actually don't know. I don't think so. You used to have to apply to get a like to know it. I think you just have to apply and get approved for both, but I don't think there's like a certain amount of followers or anything. And I think they approve most people at this day and age because I think everyone with the TikTok has like an Amazon storefront. What's your favorite Taylor Swift era? Honestly, I'm a big Reputation girly, and I feel like that will surprise people because I'm like bright and colorful and bubbly. I love Reputation. I feel like that's my alter ego. I also love Evermore, and I also love Midnights, like a lot. And maybe one day I'll be a Lover girly, but I just haven't had like a love epic enough to compare to Lover since that album came out. Do you like living in LA? Would you recommend it? I love living in LA, but also this is the Sigma palette. You guys always ask what eyeshadow I'm wearing, and 9 times out of 10 it's from this Corda Rosa Sigma palette. I preface the LA thing by saying I have amazing family. My cousins are like my siblings and they live here. My dad is here, and a ton of my friends from college live here. So I have an amazing community of really nice, normal, down-to-earth people, and I feel like that's not the case for a lot of people that live here, and that's why they end up not liking it. If you have a community here of some sort that you love and like feel good around, yes. But if you're moving to LA like cold turkey, or trying to like pursue a job in like entertainment, acting, modeling, influencing, whatever it may be, I think that you should know that it could be a very rough transition. And I would just encourage you to hang out with people that make you feel good, not people that make you feel bad. How did you find your new house, and do you mind me asking how much rent is? Rent is an arm and a leg. It's very expensive, but I always preface that by saying I lived at home for 5 years. So after I graduated from college, I moved in with my dad, and I didn't grow up with my dad. I grew up with my mom in Kansas City. So my dad and I's relationship was very roommate-like. It was not like living with a parent. I could not have lived with my mom from 22 to 26. I we would, Right after I turned 27, I moved into this house last summer and I'm obsessed with it. I love it, but it was super expensive and I could not have been able to afford this if I hadn't lived at home for 5 years prior. It's not realistic for everyone, and I like totally acknowledge that. I also don't think there's any shame with living at home. Oh, how did I find my house though? I looked on apartments.com and Zillow like every single day, the renting section of Zillow obviously, and this popped up and I was the first person to contact them, the first person to see it, and I got approved, signed a lease in the same day that I came to see it. So it all happened really fast, but I don't know, I'm pretty intuitive and I was like, this feels right, I'm gonna do it. And I kind of just never looked back. Tips for a 21-year-old. It gets literally so much better. I liked that question. I feel like I can't speak to every 21-year-old, but if I was speaking to my 21-year-old self, I would say it gets so much better. Just work hard and be patient. Know that everything is gonna work out exactly like it's supposed to. Don't be shy to say no to things. I don't know, I feel like my mental health until I turned 25 was like super questionable. I was so worried that I wasn't doing the right thing, and I feel like I've placed a lot of value on myself with my productivity and like where I'm at in life. I mean, in 2017, deciding to like be like a blogger was like, what are you doing with your life? It wasn't, people had no idea how much influencers were making. Like it was very, what? And both my parents are self-employed and just like really wanted me to have a corporate job with benefits and all the things that they didn't and like couldn't have. So that in the back of my head, on top of like people not understanding what I wanted because they didn't know what it looked like, I felt like I was like really doing something that could absolutely not work out in my favor. And it did, thank goodness. But yeah, I think I would just tell my 21-year-old self, and like most 21-year-olds, like whatever you're doing right now does not have to be permanent. Don't let your career be your identity, because it will probably look completely different 5 years from now. Try to enjoy where you're at and know that everything will work out in your favor. Just like be patient in the meantime. I got my lashes laminated the other day and I'm still trying to decide if I like it or not. I think I do. I think I'm gonna like it more in like a month when I'm a little bit tanner and don't have to wear makeup. This is Ilia mascara. It's just the OG Limitless, but sometimes I mix this with the volumizing depending on what I'm going for. Today I think this will be enough. I love the Rare Beauty lip liners. They're so good. The colors are really pretty and I feel like they actually last. And then I also love the xoxo little jelly lip glosses. This is my favorite color. I think it's called Unhooked. And then last but not least, my tried and true, obsessed with Jones Road. The stuff is amazing. You just like, it's a little tinted balm. Sometimes when I don't wear any makeup, I'll just only put this on for a little bit of color on my cheeks. It's like the perfect, really pretty shine. I'm ready to take on the day. I need to get dressed, but I really don't want to. I hate getting dressed lately, and I think it's because I have too many clothes. And I go in my closet and I get overwhelmed, and I really want to get rid of half my closet, but I just haven't had time to go through it. So I will link my Poshmark in the description so you can follow me there and see when I drop more stuff. I also just don't have the time to take pictures, and I have to hire someone to like come over and do all of that. So I need to be home for that period of time, and I just also haven't been home. Had to head out to the Natural Light to show you the finished look. I feel like the eyeliner looks a little crazy in the bathroom. But yeah, this is it. I'm gonna link the foundation in the description because I'm obsessed with this stuff. It's so good. I'm gonna get dressed and get on with the rest of my day. But I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you for watching. I love you.